Our next speaker is an activist and motivational speaker, born with a rare genetic disease known as Osteogenesis Imperfecta, a form of brittle bone disease. She has suffered from more than 300 fractures and broken bones, sometimes often as once a month. Despite these immense difficulties, she has still become an inspiration to others through her actions as a motivational speaker and digital marketer. Also involved in a Trivandrum-based organization known as Amrita Varshini Charitable Society, she has a passion for helping people like herself. Honored with the Brave Bangle Award in 2012 and the annual Inspired Indian Foundation Award in 2014, she has received recognition for her immense strength and determination. Let us welcome Dhanya Ravi, who is talking to us about the love of my life.
With you I was born. With you I shall die. With you I shed my tears. With you I laugh my heart. You have been my side, witnessing the drama that goes along. I'm enjoying this journey with you. Every second with you has been lesson in itself. Every second with you has been joy in itself. When I look at myself, I see I'm precious. I see I'm priceless. I see I'm blessed. I see I'm all that I ever wanted. You taught me every pain can be healed. You taught me to see beyond my pain. You taught me all that I climb to know today. I understand it has not always been easy. I understand it has not always been colorful. But I see it was all worth it with all the ups and downs. As I grow older on this wishbone day, I understand the world is only what I see of it. I understand the sound is only what I hear of it. I understand only when I touch, my bones are fragile. With this, I feel grateful for my divine design. So, that's my love of my life. And today, I'm here because of my health condition. It is such an honor to be part of this conference. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the entire team of CADRRRE for having me here today, especially Vijay Raghavan uncle. I think such conferences and such organization, it's such a cool support for the people with disability and for their family. And I think Vijay Raghavan uncle have made a remarkable journey based on this journey on his life. I'm sure the takeaway from this event is beyond to express, and it's truly immense. Let me take this opportunity to share a story with all of you. I would like you to think of it as a story not of darkness, but that of a shining light. A story not of self-pity, but of hope and endurance. And a story not of despair, but of joy even in the midst of pain. Years ago, parents in a middle-class family desired to have a daughter of their own. And within a few years of time, they were blessed with a daughter. She was treated like a princess by all of them, and that was me. Let me take you back to the days of my infancy. Right on the 56th day after my birth, joyous notes in my family faded out, and despair set in. Yes, within 2 months of birth, I was consulted with multiple doctors and was diagnosed with a congenital disease called Osteogenesis Imperfecta. My parents were told it is an inability in the body to make connective tissues. Now, what does that mean? It means that if a child in a crib hears a cracker burst and shudders, that is enough to break his or her bones. Can you imagine? The brittle bone disease makes our bones extremely fragile, and the biggest bone in anyone's body, the femur bone, was fractured even at my birth. These are the time I thank God for not having a bone on the tongue, because I'm sure if I had a bone on my tongue, even that would have fractured. Till today, I've been checked by over 50 doctors, as my parents were in the race of giving me the best care available. And I have had more number of fractures than the number of bones in a human body have. It took some time for us to understand the reality that it's an incurable condition. Well, some people call it faith, but that was not what it turned out to be. For every human being, one of the best times in life is childhood, isn't it? But my childhood days were filled with frequent fractures, infections, dental issues, and all I could see was a pain reflected in my parents' eyes. If you all are really wanted to know how my life is, I can give you a challenge. A 1-week challenge. Being inside the 4 walls, taking help for the daily rituals, even to just itch your back, you need someone's help. You can definitely use mobile phone and laptop, not stopping you from that. But how optimistic can you be on the 7th day? Yes, that's my reality. However, the seed of courage was planted in me by my friends and relatives. They taught me to be in love with all that is around. We were all one. None of them saw me as different. Even on my painful days, I was busy playing terrace tennis and video games. I made peace with my disability. The acceptance people gave me as one among them contributed to my wellness in a huge way. Perhaps the healing happens by giving the best of efforts. I started rediscovering myself while I spread my joy of pain through different platforms I'm associated with. When I knew the mainstream schooling was out of my reach, at that time, someone cared enough to touch my life with love and motivation. Generally, people are kept busy with their own needs and find little time for others, right? Especially we all. But my neighbor auntie was different. She gave me a whole new perspective on life. She took up the responsibility to teach me from grade 1 to 10. She taught me an hour every day. It set me a great foundation. And today, if I'm communicating well, it is because of her. I should say, I owe my life and success to her. Later, I continued my education through Open University and online courses. All through the years, I'd managed to live a life as normal as possible. My parents took me everywhere they could, although they knew every minute of travel with me is risky. They infused in me the spirit of independence. When a special child is growing up in a family, it is common to have different suggestions from each one in the family and society. But the bold decision of my parents to mold me as a strong child made me into the optimistic person that I am today. Post my homeschooling, I was introduced to the world of internet with the help of my brother, of course. It later proved to be a turning point in my life. I always found a mystic healer in music. I kept my spirits up with audio reads and writing quotes which I would upload to all my blog, YouTube channel, and other social media platforms. My passion for music and access to computer set me in a new direction. I set in sail in search of like-minded souls in the virtual world. I volunteered as a moderator for a musical website called Malayalam Songs Lyrics and a web portal for CADRRE television channel a couple of years ago. Active discussions enlivened my thoughts. I realized that the secret to a happy life is in discovering and working on the things that one is good at. When I was in my 19th year, my life took me closer to the purpose of my life. Well, this is how it all came about. I had a severe attack of bronchitis and was admitted in an ICU for days. It turned out to be like my second home. I found the place quite interesting. The nurses and doctors were giving me extra care than my parents, 24 hours being next to me. And I loved it. But definitely, although I was feeling special, I was put in between critical health patients, and it was this affirmation: I'm courageous, and will never be saved away by fear that kept me going. It was one of those days that I came across a newspaper report. It was an appeal for a financial support for the treatment of a boy named Binu Devasya, an OI from Wayanad, Kerala. I felt a pang in my heart. I identified with him and tried to reach if I could seek help from my online friends for Binu. Within no time, I got in touch with the person who published the article. That was my introduction to Mrs. Lata Nair, a very inspiring lady to whom I look up to the admiration. I connected her to the online forum which I was working as a moderator. Together, we could raise enough fund for Binu's treatment. The success of this mission gave birth to Amritavashini Charitable Society, India's only NGO society for OI affected people. The organization literally provides a new life of hope and endurance to the individuals affected by OI. Through this platform, I was able to connect with almost more than 100 of people with the same health condition. Beyond the positive socialization, it helped me and my friends to learn from each other's experience. Today, we were slowly establishing ourselves as a community. My association with different NGOs brought a new dimension to my life. Connecting with more people with disabilities, it stowed me with a sense of purpose and a holistic vision for life. I realized that disability is just a word that has meaning only until one discovers possibilities in life. Today, after going through all the trials, I see there is a purpose for all struggles, and each struggle makes you smarter to master a new situation. As I look back, I realize, having born this way, I learned confidence only because of my parents taught me it's okay to take risk. I understood the value of education when I had to abandon mainstream schooling. I understood it's okay to be vulnerable in sharing personal stories as it helps to spread awareness about genetic diseases. If persons like Victoria Auntie and Lata Auntie had not moved out of their comfort zone, I would not have understood that each of us can touch thousands of lives. And yeah, this is one of them. Vijayaraghava and uncle also doing the same, I would say. If I had not grown up playing with my friends, I would have not understood the value of love and acceptance. I count myself as creation of God because I believe I was healed from each pain of fracture so that I could do more today as I focus on working as a content writer. Before I complete my talk, I would like to let you all know that the more you love your life and embrace it with a smile, it can transform individuals. If each one of us chooses to live a life of concern and empathy, it can transform the world. Thank you.